All right, this is a real quick follow-up video to a couple videos I made. As a lot of you are aware, last week there was a South Korean corvette or light warship that was sunk near the disputed maritime North Korean-South Korean border in the Yellow Sea. And the ship was split in half, and there were initial reports. They were very suspicious and contradictory. And check out those other videos if you have time, or read the articles in them to cover all that. I wanted to talk about an article I came across today, as they're actually doing an investigation of this this sunken ship. And this is a quote from South Korean defense minister here. The article is called "South Koreans Says Torpedo Might Have Sunk Warship." South Korea. South Korean's defense minister said Friday that a torpedo might have sunk a warship near the tense North Korean border, but cautioned that an investigation was incomplete. A torpedo or a sea mine might have been involved, but a torpedo is a more realistic cause than a mine, Minister Kim Tae-young told Parliament as divers resumed search for 46 missing sailors from the 1,200-ton corvette. Sailors operating the ship's sonar detection system had not detected anything approaching torpedo, Kim said, adding, "Patience is needed until investigation results come out." Okay, so first and foremost, I got to just commend the way that the South Korean military is handling this, because they're not automatically lashing out and placing blame. They're actually doing an investigation of what happened to determine the actual cause of this explosion. All right, an internal magazine explosion has pretty much been ruled out. But so I got to first of all just say that I commend that cool, level-headed approach to that situation. If only we had that mentality after 9/11 happened, so that we could have investigated that crime scene, which was the World Trade Center complex, instead of automatically the day of assigning blame to a phantom enemy which we'll never be able to catch. So I got to commend them for actually doing an investigation to try to determine what happened. Second, I want to talk about, I read a couple of years ago about the Russians, and I'm not blaming the Russians here. I'm just saying the technology is out there. Had developed, and I'll put that article in the description as well. I'll have to find it. Had developed an underwater missile. Okay, and an underwater missile would make a torpedo look like it was going in slow motion, and can actually go at hundreds of miles per hour. And the missile is actually, it's going so fast that an envelope of air surrounds the missile. So it's not actually touching water. The nose cone of the missile is actually enveloped in a pocket of air. This thing is going so fast. And so when they talk about it may have been possibly a torpedo strike, and then they say that sonar didn't detect anything abnormal before the explosion, right? Then I would just like to toss that out there as a possibility, is that underwater missiles do exist. And if it was coming at fast enough of a speed, it may have not been detected in time. They were also discussing the possibility that this may have been a mine left over from the original Korean War, 50 through 53. But you know, I'm not a sonar expert, but I would assume that they would be able to detect that object as well. And from all indications, from all the reports I've read, it was a sudden and shocking explosion, right? There was really no forewarning. At least that's not what is being reported. So I just wanted to update those two videos with this one, and direct you to that article, and definitely read about the underwater missile system that the Russians have successfully, I'm not going to say deployed, but the missile system does actually exist, and could be a possible explanation as to why sonar did not detect any object approaching this ship, if that's what happened. All right, let's clarify. So anyway, definitely check out the story. Interesting.